YouTube, what's going on? Woody P coming back with another one. Gonna talk some boxing today, talk some sports, get you caught up. But before I start the video, please watch the entire video, and if you like the video, subscribe to the channel to receive more content like this and just content about life in general. Yeah, let's get caught up in this boxing world. You know, with basketball being down a little bit and football starting up training camp, I'm gonna get caught up on this boxing world. I love boxing, so let's get caught up. We got Canelo Triple G, the trilogy, coming up in September. I believe that trilogy is September 17th, Las Vegas. Those two guys, I'm not really that much interested in the trilogy, but Canelo and Triple G are both two big name fighters. Canelo's coming off a loss against Dimitri Bivol at 175. And Triple G's coming off a knockout win against Murata in Japan back in April. So he knocked him out in the 9th round. So I'm looking forward to this fight, I guess. Only reason I'm looking forward to this fight is because I think Canelo can actually stop Triple G in this fight, because Triple G has shown signs of slowing down, for sure. He's shown signs of slowing down. It started in the Sergey Derevyanchenko fight a couple years back. Then Murata actually won a lot of rounds up until he was stopped against Triple G. So Triple G has shown signs of, slowing down. So we'll see how it plays out. And plus, Canelo's coming off a loss. His second loss, his first loss was against Floyd Mayweather almost about 10 years ago now. So we see how he bounced back. We got another good fight out here, heavyweight, Andy Ruiz versus Luis Ortiz. I've always felt like this match should have been easy to make because they're both PBC guys. They're both kind of like B-level fighters. So I've always been intrigued by this fight because they're kind of been like B-level fighters. And they've both fought in champions. Like Andy Ruiz, he's beaten Anthony Joshua. He had the belts for a couple months. I can't even say for a while. But in Luis Ortiz, he's always given Deontay Wilder some tough fights. So I've always felt like this fight could have been like very easy to make with them both being on PBC and both fighters kind of being B-level fighters. So I'm definitely looking forward to that fight. That's September 4th, Crypto Arena, Los Angeles. So looking forward to that, for sure. Negotiations is still going on with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, 147 welterweight, undisputed. A lot of fans wanted to rush this fight. No. This fight is happening at the perfect time. Spence has all the belts. He has his belts, and Crawford has his belts. So it's perfect. It's for undisputed now. Clash of the Titans. Let's get it. Because everybody wanted this fight, and neither guy had all the belts. So what was the point? Now the best fighter at 147 on the PBC side, and Terrence Crawford, he comes from ESPN, the best fighter, so it's a clash. So they're negotiating. Hopefully we can get it at the end of this year. I'll definitely be excited if that can fall through. That's probably will be the biggest fight of the year if it gets announced. That fight gets announced. What else we got this year? We got George Kambosos and Devin Haney. George Kambosos exercised his rematch clause. Devin Haney actually beat him in his backyard in Australia. And it's funny because Bob Arum, promoter, ESPN for Devin Haney, he said George Kambosos probably should consider taking a tune-up before he hop back in with Devin Haney. And rightfully so. I mean, Devin Haney definitely won at least 9 of the 12 rounds going away easy. He schooled Kambosos, He definitely won at least 9 of the 12 rounds, I'd say. So maybe Kambosos does need another tune-up or something like that. But Haney has all the belts, lightweight. So there we go. Devin Haney said he'll meet him right back in Australia. Sometimes you got to travel to take the belts. Errol Spence had to do it against Kell Brook. Had to go over to the UK. So got to bring the belts home sometimes. So Devin Haney, Kambosos, we'll see how that play out. I don't think Kambosos can do anything with him because Devin Haney's too technical, too precise, too sharp. So we'll see how it play out. We got Ryan Garcia versus Fortuna. This fight was supposed to happen last year, but Ryan Garcia ended up having a hand injury, so the fight got postponed. Fortuna ended up fighting Jojo Diaz. That was a pretty good fight. Jojo handled him. So, but Fortuna, he's a rough, rugged fighter. He's gonna give you all he got. So he's a tough fighter. So Ryan Garcia, he's more talk than fight, though. He got the Twitter finger, so see him finally step back in the ring. Who else we got? We have do some updates about some fights that passed. That was pretty good. You had Josh Taylor versus Catterall. Josh Taylor said he's gonna give a rematch because a lot of fans and people weren't happy with that decision. A lot of people felt Josh Taylor lost that fight, but they gave it to him anyway. They felt like Catterall won that fight, so they'll have that rematch. Josh Taylor said he didn't feel like himself that night, so he's gonna have a rematch with him. So I'm looking forward to that. That fight, Josh Taylor and Catterall. So see how that play out. We have Shakur Stevenson, Oscar Valdez fought about a month back. That was a very good fight. Shakur Stevenson handled him. I say he won at least 10 out of the 12 rounds. He handled Oscar Valdez. So Shakur, he's still on the rise. He's still on the rise. There's talks about him fighting guys like Tank, you know, Devin Haney, who knows? So see how that plays out. But Shakur Stevenson is definitely on the rise. What else we got out there? What else we got out there? Yeah, that's pretty much, you know, I like Jamal Charlo, but he's not fighting anybody that's worth mentioning. He does have a fight coming up, but it's nobody worth mentioning. When he fought Sergey Derevyanchenko a couple years back, I thought he was going to start stepping up his competition because I like Jamal Charlo, but you got to step up his competition. Jermell, on the other hand, he won all the smoke. Jermell Charlo, his twin brother, 154, he wants all the smoke, so I would definitely like Jermell. But that's some updates for a little boxing, with basketball being a little slower. We're going to talk this boxing and football, so we're going to get to it. Had to do some updates, but we're at the park, so we had to get work in today. Cover some boxing today. Witty P with it. I'm everywhere with it. Life, sports, I'm coming at you. I ain't going nowhere. Comment, like, subscribe. Let's get it.